Hey Alpha fam, welcome back to another episode of Alpha Commission. Today on Alpha Commission, of course, we're going to go over that sideways action on the Bitcoin chart. Guys, if we do just go straight to the price, we can see that Bitcoin does have a bit of an engulfing bearish candle here. And unfortunately, that suggests that there may be some continuation to the downside. But of course, this is in our supportive area where we were looking at for that falling wedge. Now, you know what I said in the last episode. Just look to be going sideways off of this upward price action. We were probably going to bump our head in this area and not really push through there on the first try, and that sideways was the name of the game. Well, now we've basically gotten that deviation we were calling for. We've gotten the top, and it looks like we may be getting some type of reaction at the bottom of this falling wedge. It's really important that we hold the bottom of this falling wedge, so let's just see what happens and give BTC a little bit of a chance to build maybe a bottoming structure here, or just to lose its mind. What levels were we looking for that? Well, we were hoping to hold above the volatility pivot at 61,000. We did get a beautiful reaction there yesterday, and you just saw your alts just skyrocketing, some of them off of that reaction right off of my volatility pivot. Unfortunately, today, and I haven't checked the news yet, but maybe something came up, or maybe this is just some type of continuation of a correction, maybe an ABC pattern where the C leg is now getting filled out. I don't like to get too far down in a retracement, but this is only approximately 50% or so. So no harm, no foul. We'd really like to hold this area and then flip this previous pool that I had. As for updates, of course, we can go ahead and take a look at a new pool. And unfortunately, because of this bearish candle here, the threshold for our pivoting has come up just a bit. So in order to make sure that we have that strength still there, we do want to get above 62,335 by the end of the day. And that would suggest that, yeah, we're not losing our momentum, but really we're just holding it out. Maybe this is a bit of a fake out, a shakeout, something like that before we go. And where we really just show that we're solid is above 63,000. So that's what we're going to be looking for. Then we're going to be working on perhaps this buffer area here that's been that limiter on this downtrend. And that's what we really need to grind through after we secure one of these volatility pivots of mine. We need to grind through that zone there of supply in order to flip this a big alpha energy level, which has come down thanks to this wick, somewhere around 65,620. That's going to put a little bit of oomph in our step, and hopefully we're going to be able to start tackling that bull zone, which is buttressed on both sides by the weekly and the 2-week volatility pivots. That's neither here nor there. Currently, we're just fighting sideways, trying to create a little bit of a bottoming pattern. The Bears and the Bulls each get their say. So today is a bear day. Guys, if we just go over to the Solana chart, of course, we were also looking at Solana in our last episode. And just to continue with that just a bit, I was suggesting that Solana was likely to be a bit stronger than Bitcoin. And sure enough, this chart looks a bit stronger than Bitcoin. You can see this candle that we're forming here has not engulfed the previous one bearishly yet. And in fact, we are holding the center of the Bollinger Band midline there, which is a good sign. We don't want to lose that. We don't want to close that candle underneath the center of that Bollinger Band midline. Now let's just go ahead and take a look at the formation that we were looking at there. And here we had that broadening wedge. Well, we got a nice play off of the bottom here, got a nice play off of the top. Sure enough, we came back to retest that diagonal that I had drawn out for you. And so this does look a bit like a back test. And if this area holds, right, then basically we've filled out this wedge. We've come to fill out the broadening wedge, and we'd like to hold again, like around the 50%, just to show that there's some strength in this move still. And then we'd like to tackle this upper zone, and breaking out of that, that's going to be the real breakout in my mind. Should we get that? Guys, let's go ahead and take a look at the levels that we were looking at. And of course, we were hoping to hold that volatility pivot on Solana above 140-ish. And of course, we did. And of course, that meant that a lot of strength came back into some of those Solana S coins. You may have noticed some pumps last night, and that's the reason why. However, you can see that we are still underneath that add lose momentum area. So just like Bitcoin, a little bit risky here. We could have a deeper pullbacks. We just have to wait and see. This is one of those times when just sideways is the name of the game. Guys, if I do update that pool for you, since it's been a couple days, you can see that from this fresh perspective, we're underneath the volatility pivot, which kind of takes the place of that previous add lose momentum area. And, we have a new area where we could lose momentum thanks to this little local low that we put in. So underneath 142, things are still dicey. Above 150, things are looking strong. We're going to try to tackle that upper zone there. And of course, then the big alpha energy line comes in around 160, where we're going to start trying to tackle those bull zones and those weekly volatility pivots, which could just end up in some juicy moves back into the 200s areas. Guys, I think that that's going to wrap it up for today. One thing that I did want to point out on Solana is that we do have a little bit of an inverted head and shoulders going on here. And so if I do take just a measured move of that and kind of pull it out. If we do get that breakout, right, if we do secure my alpha momentum pool over here, then there is a good chance that we are going to try to tackle that 2-week volatility pivot somewhere around $200. Even that would be the measured move there, guys. That would also be a measured move off of this broadening wedge. And so I think that that's the area you want to target if you're a bull. All right, guys, that's your alpha for the day. Stay safe and happy trading.